Welcome to the Rusted Garden Homestead. Today I'm going to show you how to take care of tomato seed starts that may be a bit beat up. These are some of my, I don't know, maybe 200 seed starts, probably on my third wave, that really gotten beat up over the last couple of weeks. They've actually been in there almost 6 weeks. They should have been transferred into cups. We got crazy rain for the last 4 or 5 days, a couple days ago. You can see spots on there. The plants are stressed. It got cold. It got down to 39 degrees. They're just really beat up. Some disease in here, but you don't need to worry. Just stay cool. You can take care of your plants. We're going to take them over to the station right over there, and I'll show you how I take care of them. These will be perfectly fine in about 7 days. Here's a group I'm working on, and you can see I've removed a lot of the leaves, and I'm transplanting them up into 8-ounce containers. You can use any container you'd like to use, but you want something that is at least 8 ounces. 10 ounces would be great. Again, see all the problems in there? You can see that marker 4-4. So these have actually been in there, yeah, about 6 weeks. That's too long. They should have been out of there a while ago, but I got busy. So I'm taking them out. Here's my mix. Mix is 50% peat moss, 50% whatever else you want to use. Do not put in manures, do not put in compost. You're just creating a nice loose potting mix that will retain water. And I'm going to just show you how I go through the process here. I'll talk about the fertilizers, the feeding, and how you can take care of them. And again, 7 days or so, these are going to look great, and I'll show you what they look like. So again, can't stress the importance of when you're, taking care of your garden, you're growing transplants and stuff like that. Make sure you manage your time so you take care of the plants that are doing well. I managed my time a little bit poorly with these guys, and then we got ridiculous rain, cold weather, and they really got beat up. They should have been a little more protected and in cups. So I'm basically just taking them out, pinching off all the leaves that look bad, just leaving a couple on there. It kind of looks harsh, but I guarantee these plants are going to grow great. Just looking for anything. You don't have to take off the whole stem, leaving enough leaves so that they can get sunlight. And maybe they all don't make it, but most of them are going to be perfectly fine. This is where I always say chemical fertilizers are okay. You could use that if that's all you have. They're perfect for these types of emergencies, but I'm going to use a water-soluble organic fertilizer, and that's the key, is you want a water-soluble fertilizer that has N, P, and K in there. And the reason for that is water soluble can be absorbed through the leaves, through the stems, and through the roots immediately, and it will get these plants working again. I just mark them. These were, I think, yellow pear. Oh, that's the Wisconsin 55. I know they were yellow pear because I caught it out of the corner of my eye. Yellow pear. Yellow pear, and yellow pear. When you are getting your containers, again, at least 8 ounces. You can use styrofoam cups. I know people get upset, but you can reuse these for 3 or 4 years, and they're perfect. You just turn them and write on them, and you can keep these for a long, long time. Make sure you poke holes in the bottom. You don't want these to get more stressed and staying in water without drainage will stress them out. Now, you can see the roots got exposed when the rainwater was splashing on there. You can see bumps coming out. That's all normal. We're going to just put a little bit of dirt in there, press it in, and covering a good chunk of the stem, press it in. Nothing fancy. You don't have to overlove these or anything. Just clean them up and then put them into a tray. Let me finish these, and I'm going to do that pretty much for everything that I showed you in the beginning of the video. All those plants. That's all you need. They're going to come back. And I think you'll be surprised at how resilient your tomato plants are. So let me do a couple more, and then I'm going to show you the combination fungicide and insecticide I'm using when I'm done. Now, a couple of things. When your plants are underfed, they can look like this. When they're overfed, they can start looking like this. So overfeeding can be a problem. I know, because I keep a schedule, that these are not overfed, so they're going to get that nice drink of water-soluble fertilizer when I'm done. I also know that all these spots on here is probably some sort of leaf spot, but when the plants get stressed and weak, the diseases cling to the weakened leaves and they take hold. When this plant is up and going again, it should be perfectly fine. The other thing that I'm looking at is when you have spots on there, when they get dark or they get black, and I've already sprayed these once with the fungicide 2 days ago, getting them ready for this. That means that the disease has stopped progressing. So these are clearing up, but as soon as they're pruned back, fed, they're going to take off again. So don't worry about what you see in there. They're going to be okay. When the leaves get thicker and healthier, these diseases probably won't take hold. Leaf spot in my area also comes in when the temperatures get back down into the 40s. They like the cool weather for some reason, and when there's lots of rain. So I had the perfect storm, and I really didn't take care of these well. All right, let me get going with the rest of them, and then I'm going to show you the spray that I use. So here are the plants. They've all been potted up, removed most of the leaves, and I swear they already look healthier. I think as soon as they knew they weren't being neglected, I think maybe they perked up a little bit. But you can see how they look right now. Three flats of tomatoes, and I'm just using this product, a spray bottle, Funganol. It's just a fungicide, oil-based, ready to use, and just soak the leaves. Start with the top and then spray underneath, and you just really need to do that probably once or twice. I'll do this again in 3 days if I need to. So I'm going to go through here, spray these down, and then I'll come back and fertilize them, and then every 2 days we'll check on them, because I just want to show you, if something happens to your transplants that are outdoors and your tomatoes get beat up, you can save them. You don't have to panic. We put so much, I think, love and attention and energy into them. Sometimes something goes wrong, and it's kind of sad. With perspective, it's sad, but we can handle it. We can take care of it, and this is just ways you can treat problems with your tomatoes. The spray is dried. Looking back, I probably should have fed them first because I'm using the water-soluble fertilizer. It's organic. It's an 11-3-8. I'm using it at half strength. You're going for, a higher amount of nitrogen, but you don't have to get crazy with it. So the nitrogen is represented nicely, phosphorus, potassium, and this also has microelements or micronutrients in there. I do recommend, because I suspect it was some sort of leaf spot, make sure you sterilize your seed starting trays. You can do that with water and bleach. You can look up a recipe for sterilizing plastic. So this is the water-soluble fertilizer, half strength, and I'm just going to soak the leaves real quick, but really give them a nice drink to let the peat moss really absorb all the nutrients. And I will just go down just like that. More water in the cups. Let that go in, and then just a quick rinse across the top. That's all I'm going to do for them. I'll work my way down. So I'll check these out every couple of days for the next 5 days, 7 days, and I expect that they should be okay, and that will be perfect because these will be ready. Well, hopefully they'll be ready, but my garden will be ready to take them. I'm going to dig up some new space for a bunch of these cherry tomatoes that are in here. So this is actually 3 days later, and look how nice and green and healthy the seedlings are. They're starting to come back. I can still see some yellowing in there. No signs of the leaf spot or the disease or the problem that was there, but they look extremely healthy. I'm going to feed them again today, again with probably about quarter strength of that organic fertilizer, water soluble, and we'll see how these look in 2 days. But I think they're doing really well, and they're going to be great transplants. So it's Friday night, another 2 days have gone by. The tomato plants are doing extremely well, nice and green, totally recovered. They got the water-soluble fertilizer 2 rounds over this period of time, and you can see that they've completely recovered. Now, you can use the chemical fertilizers like Miracle Grow. If you don't like Miracle Grow, use a different company. But the chemical fertilizers have N, P, and K, have the second level macronutrients, calcium, see if I can get it, calcium, magnesium, and sulfur, and it has micronutrients. If you don't want to use the chemical fertilizers, which won't hurt your plants or you could use a organic fertilizer. I used actually Miracle Grow's organic water-soluble fertilizer that's out now. It's in a black and gold box. The reason I picked that is because it also had all the macro level nutrients, NP and K and all that, and micronutrients. That's what you want. You want to give your plants everything that they need to recover when stressed out. These are going to go in the ground tomorrow, or maybe on Sunday. Subscribe to my channel. These are mostly cherry tomatoes. I'm going to make a cherry tomato hedge, and I think I'm going to have about 12 different cherry tomatoes growing there. So you can just walk right down the hedge, pick a bowl full of 12 different varieties of cherry tomatoes. Let me just take you out to the garden real quick and show you what that organic soluble fertilizer did for my tomatoes out there. Just wanted to show you the root systems. About 6 days after transplanting water-soluble fertilizer, the root systems look wonderful. Plants recovered, and the whole key is really getting them out of the small cells, giving them the food that they need, fertilizer, and giving them a spray of the antifungal. It is the evening, so things are getting a little bit dark, but these are extremely healthy. These got a quick douse on the leaves of the water-soluble fertilizer as I took care of the transplants out there on the first round about 6-7 days ago. And you can see just they're doing extremely well. The water-soluble fertilizers get picked up by the plant leaves immediately, by the root systems very quickly. If these plants were struggling, or if any plants in your garden were struggling, you can do the same process that you saw in this video to take care of your tomato plants out here. So hopefully it gives you some ideas not to panic, not to get too stressed. Just, put a plan together, slow, low feed, and your tomato plants will recover. They want to grow, they want to do well. Just give them what they need. Don't give them too much of what they need. Thanks for watching. Please check out my seed shop at therustedgarden.com.